everyone, Larry Chen here. We are at Evasive Motorsport. We got Mike here and he's gonna show us the S2000R.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
You guys did what Honda did not do. And finally, here it is. After years of development, I am so blown away. There's no other way to put it. What was the original idea behind this car?
We're all Honda fans. We all own the Honda. We all actually had S2000s here, everyone at the shop. So Type R, as we know, it's like the epitome of Honda's racing version of their street car. We just thought, how come they never made it for the S2000? And it's just something that, it was a idea that came about just over dinner one day. I was like, hey, we should just make one since it, modernize the S2000, give it a new engine, just give it a lot of things that didn't exist before. And then this is what we come up with, so.
This is so incredible. I mean, you've gone so deep into it. I mean, this is essentially a brand new car.
Yeah. The whole car was stripped down to the chassis. Everything's painted from bare bone chassis. All the panels have been replaced. Fenders, hood, trunk, everything is just all composites, all carbon fiber. So just trying to save weight, and then everything has been refreshed. So essentially it's like a new car.
Yeah, because you really wanted to take on that R badge. Like it needed to be like a true R if Honda actually made it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have so many questions, but let's just start from the outside.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of this stuff is composite carbon.
Yeah.
Let's start at the bumper.
Yeah. So the bumper is actually OEM factory Honda. It's Honda Access Japan. They recently released a bumper for 20th anniversary of the S2000. And so this is that bumper. And when it came out, I was like, this is perfect. This is OEM quality. It's your thing. And it kind of, there's meaning behind it because it is celebrating 20 years of Honda S2000. So we took the bumper, we added the front lip and the fender extension. The fender's been widened about 30 millimeters on each side, but we didn't want to leave that gap here, so we kind of filled the spot with the extension right here.
Oh, so you guys actually did this
Yeah, exactly. Without it will have kind of like it kind of goes in right here.
So carbon fenders, wider. Who makes those fenders?
It was made in-house, yeah. It's one off for this, yeah.
Nobody does this.
No, yeah. So every aero part on this car is made just for this car, so.
Unbelievable. What about the hood?
The hood's actually a ASM dry carbon hood. It's really, really nicely built. So.
And this is actually built with the intention of having a certain intake.
Exactly, for like a snorkel style intake. Without this, it wouldn't clear. Yeah, so.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that afterwards. But this is super, super nice. Doors.
Factory.
Any modification?
Yeah, doors are factory. We could talk about interior later, but the mirrors are from Spoon. It's kind of like the perfect shape and the style we want to go for. So there's really no need to make something one-off, which is, there's Spoon Sports mirrors.
Very JDM.
Yeah.
And then the rear fender?
Rear, this is all factory. It's all factory. All factory. The wing is S2000R wing. It's actually produced by Voltex, Japan, and we customized it to fit this dry carbon trunk. This trunk is actually pre-drilled for wing mounts in these location, and it's reinforced underneath. So if you want to take a look at it.
This is really, really nice.
Yeah, and then we also wanted to make sure that it looks factory with no like exposed hardware. So it's just, a lot of.
You guys made all this.
This is all made in-house. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so you see the trunk is made for this exact wing mounting location.
This is so premium.
Yeah.
Who makes this?
This is also ASM actually.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, it's ASM dry carbon.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So then it's wider in the front, but not wider in the back.
Yeah. So, we've been tuning S2000 for a while. So, what most people do is they want to square out the car. Factory S2000s come with a stagger setup, so it's narrow in the front, wider in the back. But for performance and just ultimately like the turn-in, a better turn-in, people want to go wider wheels in the front. That's why we square the car out. Make it wider in the front and keep the same width in the back.
Okay, so let's talk about the wheels. So now it's a square setup then.
Yeah. So the wheels they're 18 by 9 all around. These wheels are actually made by our friends at Titan 7. They're forged. These are actually the EVS Tuning 52R wheels. And these are made especially for this car because...
They actually have your logo?
Yeah, it's EVS Tuning. So these are made specifically for this car to clear the Brembo calipers front and back while retaining this factory kind of fitment.
And it's body matched?
Yeah.
It looks so good. It looks Honda premium OEM.
Yeah, I think...
Because you guys custom made all of it.
Exactly, yeah. And this is all color matched to the car. So this is everything is done in championship white, which is what Honda has been known for. White wheels on a white car, yeah.
It looks so good. Front, the brakes are huge. It seems like it barely clears.
Yeah, the clearance is very tight.
So is this something that you're gonna offer for sale, or is this something that's just gonna come on this car?
So we do have a line of 52R wheels for the S2000, but not in this specific application. This is kind of exclusive to the S2000R because it goes with these brakes. Yeah, and it's made just to clear these brakes and actually fit, within these fenders. Yeah.
So good. Okay, let's take a look at the engine bay. That way we can talk about the engine and the exhaust and everything that you guys have done to make this an updated for 2023 market. Incredible sports car. There's just so much to unpackage right now. So what are we looking at here?
So this is a K20C1, which is the FK8 factory engine, turbocharged Honda factory engine. It makes about 306 horsepower with almost 300 pounds of torque, which, as we know, that's like a big increase from what a stock S2000 output is. Our intention is to put it in here, but not make it look like it was aftermarket. I wanted to make it look as factory as possible. So,
So then what did you have to do? Because this motor was never meant to be mounted this way.
Exactly, yeah. So obviously we had to do custom belt housing, custom starter, even the downpipe, everything has to be custom fabricated because a lot of times these exhausts, the way it's routed, it's just not meant for a rear-wheel drive car. So we use an adapter. We're using a factory, still a 6-speed transmission from the S2000. Custom engine mounts. Intake manifold has to be custom made because the stock engine, the throttle body's on the back, on this side. So we have to turn everything over to face this way. So. Yeah, and obviously, tuning-wise, we're using a Motec M142 for this. It's a direct injection engine, so it's kind of a plug-and-play with Motec, so it runs really well.
It's interesting that the hood is made this clearance just for this intake. I mean, just that much room, I guess, makes that big of a difference, huh? Because it's taking fresh air.
Yeah.
Not from the fender or anything, it's taking it from the front bumper.
Front bumper,
area.
yeah. Actually, the air goes up here and it feeds right into the intake.
So cool.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. So then, does this make stock power? Is this all stock, everything?
Yeah, so right now it's on a stock tune. So on our dyno, I actually put down 300 to the wheels, which is a lot on the Mustang dyno. We have plans in the future to actually add a sports mode button in the car. So if you actually turn to sport mode, it will up the boost, increase steering sensitivity, just like what a modern car could do. So we have plans to do that.
And then, so what's the point of this? What's the point of building this? Is this something you wanted to exercise just to show that you can do this, or is this something you actually want to sell?
I think it really is to get an idea off the ground and see if we can actually do it. But the idea is to offer it to our customers. I think there's definitely a demand for this type of car. We've seen a lot of resto mods done with 911s and many other high-end European cars, but I think with the S2000, there's such a cult following for this car, and then like me and myself want to see, if one day, I grow up, I sell my S2000, I have everything I want, but I want an S2000 again. I wish somebody would do a resto mod version of this, and so I could just buy it.
Right.
So
because a lot of people that maybe liked S2000s back then when it was brand new couldn't afford them.
Yeah.
Because they weren't of age yet.
Yeah.
And then now, potentially, if they're a car enthusiast or a Honda enthusiast, now they can afford something this nice.
Right.
Have you figured out how much something like this would cost?
We have an idea, but right now literally the car just got built, so there's a lot of details we're still trying to work out, and every day we're still making changes to the car. So
Yeah.
I think we'll have pricing probably in the next few months. But right now, it's just we're still literally in the prototype phase of
I'm
the car.
so curious. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's good to know. But it's just so cool. So did you have to do anything? Because I'm guessing the motor itself, is it sitting exactly where the F-Series usually sits?
Yeah, really close actually. So the S2000, if you know, for the people that don't know, the S2000 engine actually sat behind the front axle. So it's technically like a mid-engine car, and that's why the car was so balanced, the weight distribution, the handling. So we're trying to keep that same location for the engine. So you can see it's literally right behind the front axle line. So we do have to notch the firewall slightly just because there's stuff here that's like in the way. The engine does sit a little bit higher, but overall it's basically the same location.
Was this a pretty good donor car to start with?
It has some miles on it, yeah. I think as long as the chassis is straight and there's no accidents, we can turn it into something like this because everything has been replaced anyway. So the car was a yellow S2000 04. It actually been tracked a lot, so yeah. So we everything gets replaced anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
And then the way the downpipe routes,
Yeah.
the exhaust, all of that, is that something that you had to really battle to get it to work?
Oh, for sure, yeah. So the downpipe actually goes down and it actually crosses over under the oil pan to
On this side?
Yeah, so it goes under the oil pan and then it exits. So we had to use a round tube into an oval to go under the oil pan, or else there would be clearance issues. And then once it goes over, then we can go back to a round and then to the cat and then to the exhaust.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because this has never been used in a rear-wheel drive car.
Yeah. No, not really. Yeah, a lot of people have done like K24s and other engines, but K20.
That is so cool. And then updating the cooling system, all of that is kind of updated for this motor package.
Yeah, so we made, so there's you can't see it, but there's an oil cooler. Probably see it from the front.
And then the intercooler?
Yeah, intercooler, oil cooler, and the radiator. So the cooling, the way the S2000 is laid out, is actually really efficient. You get a lot of airflow, whereas in the FKA, a stock Civic Type R has cooling issues because everything is stacked so close and there's not much airflow. So we're able to take advantage of the way S2000, there's so much space here that we could just put coolers separately and direct air to it. So.
And then, so why this motor?
Number one, it's a Type R engine. So
it's a true Type R engine.
Yeah. So it has to be a Type. If you can't call it a S2000R without a Type R engine from Honda.
Got it.
So, and this is the only modern Type R engine that's available. So it's kind of a no-brainer. There's really no other engine.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the interior. There's a lot to unpack on this one. The seats, absolutely incredible. It matches the theme so well. So did you work with Recaro on getting these custom done?
These are actually off-the-shelf Recaro podium seats. When I first saw them released, I was like, this is perfect for this car. It has the right color, and it's just modern. It's full carbon shell. And
they fit really nice.
Yeah, it fits really well.
It matches the interior. You already have red interior in here. Is this all new, or did you have to get all new panels from Honda?
No, these are just OEM, but we got a upholster in Alcantara. There's a few little details, like this is a FKA Mugen shift knob, so we put that in here.
The steering wheel is different.
Yeah, it's Momo, and then we have this is the NSX-R horn button.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. I have to say also, you went out of your way to update the logo too, right? S2000, and then you added the R.
Yeah, the R, the actual R is from the Civic Type R. So kind of combined the two logos into the S2000R. Oh. Yeah.
So then, is there a top here anymore, or did you take that out?
No, so underneath is all gutted. I wanted the car to be still a roadster. I feel like this is the true spirit of a Honda S2000 is top down. We do have a hardtop that's optional that you can put on, but I think you get the most enjoyment with no top and driving around like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to start it so we can see the, like, that is so cool that you went out of your way to design that logo.
Yeah, it kind of, for people who don't know how to start a car, that's...
That is so cool. So then it's the normal start button.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the FKA dash, pretty much identical to a Civic Type R.
Right, you wanted to recreate it.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that's all customizable.
Yeah.
And it's not like super loud or anything.
No.
It's like an FK8 Type R.
Right. And I think the whole idea is not to make it so aftermarket or tuner feeling. I want it to be like OEM, but like extreme OEM plus. So that's kind of the concept behind it. So everything is kind of like mellow, but modified.
Yeah, but underneath it, it's a brand new car, completely.
Yeah.
Ground up build.
Yeah, like all the suspension bushings, everything is brand new. Like obviously the damper, we have the KW Club Sport. It's custom valve to the car. New bushings, we have sway bars, we have all the suspension bits and pieces, the stuff that we kind of figured out setting up these cars for the past 15, 20 years. All these little tricks that has been applied to the car. So the handling is like on point.
Tell me about the exhaust. It looks great.
Yeah, so it's a custom exhaust built by Origin Fab. Full titanium, 70 millimeters all the way back. It has a really nice exhaust note to it. No drone.
So how has the feedback been since you guys announced this project?
Honestly, it's been overwhelming. Yeah, I think the feedback is just a lot of positive comments. At the same time, there's a lot of people saying, hey, you should have kept the NA engine, but that's not what we're going for. We're going for a modern version of the S2000. So, and I think with the K20 C1, it's the clear choice. It just has more power, more torque, and it's factory, so.
All right, so you've been in the industry for so many years, and you obviously know people that work at Honda. Has anybody at Honda reached out to you about this?
You know, I've talked to people from HPD actually. They will be we're having an unveiling event. They're probably gonna be there. I'm curious to see what they think about this project. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because who knows? Maybe there was a reason why they didn't make a Type R.
Yeah.
But the fact that you took it upon yourself to do it,
yeah,
I think it's pretty darn cool, honestly.
Yeah, and I think there's still a lot of interest for a two-door sports car these days. You know, like these days, a lot of focus has been on practical sedans that are, you know, performance-driven sedans, but like two-door roadsters and just these type of cars, just there's a special place for them for people, you know.
Is this a lot lighter than a stock S2000? Or?
Yeah, I would say it's lighter for sure because we don't have the soft top, and we replace, you know, obviously the trunk is carbon. We have all these carbon panels.
The seats probably lose a lot of weight.
Seats, yeah. So I would say it's probably about a couple 100 pounds lighter than a stock S2000.
This kind of honestly came out of the blue for me because, you know, I've been following you guys for a while, and I see a lot of the projects that you guys do, including Dai's Pikes Peak effort that you guys have covered for so many years or supported. But this is something, how long did it actually take for you to get to this point with this vehicle?
You know, the project started probably 2019. That's when we got donor car. And it's just been a long process just because we had all these race programs, we have customers' cars to work on. It wasn't like 100% focused on building this car. But whenever chance we get, we would add things to it, you know, refine it, we would make changes to it. So it took about 3 to 4 years to get to this point. So it's been a while.
I'm assuming now that you've done it one time, it probably won't take that long to build another one.
Yeah, and I think we could, if we were to build the next one, it would be actually much better too, because we learned a lot in the process. We could, make things more efficient, just do things a lot better.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for showing it to me. Unfortunately, today we can't drive it because it's prepped and all ready for the show. But after the show, after they release it, you guys will see this pretty much as soon as the show happens. I can come back and actually take a ride in it or drive it. But it just looks so good. And I've actually never seen this bumper on a US car yet. I haven't seen it. And obviously Honda hasn't forgotten about the car because they're still making new parts for it, like the bumper. Yeah.
Well, the bumper is actually discontinued. They released it for like a very short period of time and they just cut it off. So that's probably why you don't really see them often.
You have to hoard that bump. You have to find them. You have to find all of them.
Yeah, we do actually have some on the shelf that we're holding for that exact reason. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for showing it to us.
Yeah.
Good luck. Hopefully you can build a lot of these.
Yeah. Thank you.
I wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Hi, Dai.
What's up?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Of course you're here.
As always, yeah. I work here.
Yeah, your Pikes Peak program is based out of Evasive Motorsport. And we always have a really good time following you at Pikes Peak, and whether you're driving an electric car or internal combustion vehicle. But this year you're actually driving an S2000.
Yep, going back to the gas power.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
I do too.
So that car is actually being worked on inside, and it's going to be released at the event. So I'll be posting a bunch of that stuff on my Instagram. But let's talk about this. This is such an interesting thing. You're a big Honda guy. You love Hondas. You race Hondas.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a big Honda guy, but I do happen to drive a lot of Hondas, and now I'm getting into it.
Yeah, but you've also won a lot of races in Hondas.
Yeah, with the Sprint Sports and
You're just around it a lot. What do you think about this build?
Well, so first of all, S2000 is one of my favorite, like a truck car, right? It's very good handling, it's very balanced car. But if you want to go faster, the power is not enough. And then I think they're making that problem fixed with the FK8 Type R engine, right? So with this weight and 300 horsepower is like perfect. Yeah,
balance. Because you have a similar build in that your
86.
Your 86, your Toyota A86 has the same engine.
Right.
And that one is that actually tuned up more, or does that make
No,
more
it's the
power?
same thing, because my concept is the stock. So you don't have to be like high maintenance, right? The stock should be like last whatever, right? So that was my point. And 86 is a light chassis, right? It's like 2200 or something. So 300 horsepower is more than enough to have a good time with it.
And you actually had a chance to drive this. What did you feel?
I did.
What did you think?
So it's exactly the same, right? Like lightweight with the perfect horsepower. But this one built much nicer, to be honest. The body is more stiff because it's a newer chassis, and then they did, a lot of cool stuff on the backside. So it really kind of reminds me like an SXR. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But everything works. All of it works.
Yeah.
Like all of the electronics, headlights, everything. I mean, a lot of times when you do motor swaps, you lose a lot of things.
My 86 is like that too.
It's okay because your 86 is really fast and fun to drive on track.
Yeah. But this will be, the goal, right? Like AC works and everything works.
Oh, this has air conditioning still?
Yes, everything works.
That's incredible.
I think so, right?
Does the air conditioning work?
Yeah, it's not filled, but it's
And what is the air conditioning off of?
It's from a Civic Type R.
Oh.
K-Series.
You didn't have to save any F-Series stuff.
No, I took everything out.
What about that condenser?
It's a S2000 condenser.
See, that's the point.
S2000 condenser, all K-Series, everything else. AC, all of it works. That's
Yeah.
really important.
So basically, this is a perfect street car, but you can take it to the track as well. But my 86 is only for the track. No AC, no power steering, right? But this has like all the comfortable stuff, but you can drive at the track and you can go really quick too. So it's like a
That's
dream
cool.
car, man.
I love it. That's awesome. Good job, guys. Good job. I can't wait to drive it. Okay. I'm gonna do like a Larry's take on this, right? So Lewis is doing some B-roll and he's shooting it, but I just kind of wanted to talk about prices, right? Mike and the guys, they don't know exactly how much they're gonna charge for this, but my best guess, honestly, is gonna be about $200,000 because you look at what S2000s are selling for, and you look at something like a CR, which is the top of the line S2000, you see them go for over 100, 130,000 easy, right? And then that's for a used one. This is a brand new vehicle now with 0 miles, right? And then you want to just add up the parts. Okay, so like the seats alone, $4,000 each. The wheels, who knows? I don't know, $5,000 forged wheels. You want to talk about the Motec system? That's 20 grand right there. The hood and the trunk, that's $7,000 just for those. It adds up so quick. And one of the things that Mike was saying off camera is that all of the original S2000 clips, rubber trim, all of the little things that they actually put together, that adds up because it's from Honda, original OEM, and they still make them, and if they don't make them, it's new old stock, which makes it even more expensive. Just the suspension alone, I know the KW Club Sports could be $10,000, spec'd out, custom. Just price alone, like just the things that I see. Oh, I'm not even mentioning the brakes. The brakes, who knows how much those things are. It's all premium parts, and it's a lot of labor and a lot of research that went into making this work. So that's my best guess. I mean, maybe you guys can tell me I'm wrong or whatever. But yeah, that just seems like how much the market is going for with these really custom cars. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to LarryChenPrints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.